kids screaming in the background. It's the Easter holidays. We have a great big field and a park outside the front of our house, and right now there is a football match going on between some smaller boys and some slightly bigger boys. And I'm quite happy to say the smaller boys are kind of kicking the bigger boys' ass, which makes me very happy. So yeah, apologies if you can hear that. This is what happens with where I live. I think it's quite fun. It gives me something to look at when I'm bored. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing my current hair care routine for you. So at the end of March I asked you guys on Instagram stories if you'd rather see an updated skincare or an updated hair care, and the majority said hair care, especially where I've gone blonder again. I say recently, this was back in Feb. I have blonde put back through my hair. Getting some more done at the end of 8 this month, so which I'm quite really excited for. So yeah, so I've had to update a lot of what I kind of put through. I say a lot. I've had to update some of what I put through my hair, and like increase things like protection and stuff. So I thought I would just kind of run you through my current hair care routine. I've got some cutaways, none of me in the shower. Which is just good for everybody, let's face it. Nobody wants to see me in the shower, apart from my husband. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I will talk you through the products, I'll talk you through like my routine. And I did this earlier today and I ended up curling my hair, so I've also got clips of that, so I'll talk you through that as well. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you do, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's talk about my hair. Okay, so in terms of my hair, what it's like, the type, I have a lot of it and it is thick. I have my dad to thank. I have my dad to thank for most of my genetic makeup, I think. So thanks, Dad. I'm also getting your early grey hairs, which is awesome. But yes, I have a lot of hair. It is thick. It grows quite quickly. This is like my natural colour at the roots here, with some greys at the front. Not even 30 yet, thanks, Dad. And then the blonde running through it is not natural. I like being blonder, it's just a preference for me, and my husband likes it too. Although I will say this, he says to me he prefers me with lighter hair, and then he's always like, I don't like dark hair. And then we watch things and it's always the girls with the dark hair that he likes. Anyway, tangent. So yeah, so that's the type of hair that I have. I will wash my hair once to twice a week. I have never done it more than that because it is such a huge job to then dry it and sort it out and just wash it. There's just a lot of it, especially when it is this length. I do prefer it long, sometimes I will cut it short, and I have done in the past because I like the idea of it being short, and then it just ends up being more work. But I just prefer it longer, that's me. My husband prefers it longer as well, so that's a plus. But yeah, I guess that's my hair type really. It's not particularly dry at the moment. This time last year it was quite dry and dehydrated just from like so long of every single nose wants to come at me today. Just for so long of dyeing it but not taking care of it. So the shampoos and conditioners I was using last year are very different to what I'm using right now. But it's in alright condition right now. It's not feeling particularly dry. The ends aren't too like split or anything like that. It's in pretty good condition right now, thankfully. So yes, in terms of washing my hair, like I said, I wash my hair about once or twice a week, and I have been using Garnier Ultimate Blends, which I do really like, and I think they're a really good affordable kind of hair care brand. But I was using the coconut water version and I just found that it wasn't actually doing anything with my hair anymore. I feel like my hair just got too used to what it was doing. But again, I don't know if this is a thing, but I just felt like it wasn't doing what it used to do. And it might also be that my hair just didn't need that level of hydration anymore, so it wasn't bothered. But anyway, since I went blonde, I have switched, and I have 2 sets that I use, and I use them alternately. Is that the right thing? Yeah, alternately. So we have please excuse these, this is sticky and disgusting. The L'Oreal Elvive Colour Protect Caring Shampoo and Conditioner. I have coloured hair now, I need to protect it, and I think this is where I made the mistake before, where I wasn't using stuff for coloured hair really. I was just using kind of normal stuff. I wasn't paying attention to my hair, and that's kind of where it all went wrong. Now that I am blonde again, I want to stay blonde, I like it, and I want to go a bit blonder. I know I need to take better care of it, and this stuff is really nice. I love the smell of it. I don't really know what it smells of, but I really like the smell, and my hair just feels so nourished and soft afterwards. It feels like it's got like a new lease of life kind of running through it. I'm really enjoying using these. They're really nice, and I like that you get like these great huge ones. And then I'm also using, so I'll use those once a week, and then after that I will use these. So this is the, again, L'Oreal Elvive Colour Protect, the purple shampoo and conditioner. This is a fairly new release from them, and it's just anti-brassness. So my hair generally has some warm tones running through it, which I actually get from my mum. So when it does go blonde, they obviously do tone it to make sure it's not too yellowy and brassy, but it can get there if I don't look after it and I don't do something like put like a toner through it. So that's what this is for. It just kind of helps to neutralize a lot of those kind of warmer tones running through my blonde. And again, it has all like the same kind of properties in terms of nourishment and care as the other Colour Protect pieces. So yeah, I really, really like those as well. I wish they did these in the big versions like they do the other one, because these are like small and I feel like I'm going to go through those really quickly, but it's new, so maybe that's why. Anyway, once I've washed my hair, I'm going to say something that people probably won't like. I don't use a hair mask. I think because I have a lot of hair and it's thick, when I use a hair mask, I just feel like my hair is so weighed down by it, and maybe I just haven't found the right one. If you have any recommendations for like thick hair where you have a lot of it, put them below, because I'd love to know what they are. But for me, whenever I use a hair mask, it's just too much for my hair. It doesn't like it, it weighs it down, it just feels so heavy. And you know what, my hair's pretty heavy as it is, so I don't really need that. So if I do feel like I just need some extra nourishment, I will just leave the conditioner on of whatever I'm trying. Usually the red one, actually. I don't like to leave the purple one on forever and ever and ever because I don't want purple hair. I don't even know if that's possible, but just go through my mind. I will literally use the conditioner from this, whatever conditioner I'm using at that time, and I'll just leave it on for, I usually leave it on in the shower for like a minute or two anyway. I put it in, and that's when I'll do like wash the rest of my body, shave my legs, all of that stuff, so it has some time to kind of sink in and nourish. I'll just leave it in for maybe 10 minutes, and it might be like I'll choose to have a bath instead that day. So I'll wash my hair in the shower, and then I'll put the conditioner through, and then I'll get in the bath for like 10-15 minutes, have a bit of a chill while that's soaking in, and then I'll rinse it out. So that's what I'll do in terms of a mask rather than a mask, and for me that actually works better. So that's just a personal preference. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, that's just what works for me. Anyway, once my hair has been washed, I put it up in a towel, and because there is so much of it and it's thick, I basically have to leave it up in a towel for at least half an hour before I can even attempt to dry it, because otherwise it's just going to take longer to dry it with a hairdryer. So I just have to do that. I have to kind of leave it in some sort of towel or something, just to kind of try and take as much moisture and as much wetness out of it as possible before I move on to actually using a hairdryer. Anyway, once it gets to that point and I can finally sit down and dry my hair, now you see why I only do this like once or twice a week. It's a bit of a mission. What I will do is I'll just run some product through my hair before I go to dry, and I have some favourites that I have been a favourite for a long time, and you will have seen me speak about them before. The first one I run through is the Bumble and Bumble BB Straight Blow Dry. I don't think they do this anymore. I picked up one and then I picked up like another couple because I think they were on offer or something, but I was like, I want to get these, and now I don't think they do this anymore. I haven't seen it for a while, and this has nearly run out, which makes me really, really sad. But basically this is just a serum that I run through the lengths of my hair, and it just helps to kind of get rid of frizz, and it just makes styling my hair so much easier. So even though this is obviously for straight, they did one for curly as well, but for me I always just use the straight one because it just kind of makes everything a lot smoother, so that if I do then still want to curl it afterwards, it's still going to curl really nicely because the hair is still smooth and you're working a little bit like you're working from a blank canvas. You're not having to worry about frizz and stuff at the same time. And then it, like, if I am just blow drying it straight, this makes so much difference. If I don't use this, I notice a huge difference in terms of like how much bigger or frizzier or Monica-like my hair starts to look. So I really, really like that, and I'm going to be so sad when that runs out if they don't do it still. And then I also take some of this. This is the Living Proof Prime Style Extender. They kind of market it as a hair primer, so You put this on and then you style your hair, and it just helps your hair stay in that style for a lot longer. I mean, does it? I debate about it, because when I don't use it, my style still stays in longer. But it's one of those things where I do find, what it also says is it's weightlessly perfecting, weatherproofing and time saving. Use alone or under other stylists. I do find if I wear this and then I go out in the rain or something like that, then my hair doesn't become quite the same disaster zone as it would have done without this. It does just help to keep my hair a lot tamer, which I like. And when it does get really hot in the summer, this just kind of helps again to keep it under control a little bit more. This is not an essential, but I think it's just part of my routine, so I just use it. And yeah, it's one of those things that when I don't use it, I notice more of a difference than when I do use it, you know? So yeah, I still just take that through. Again, just the lengths. I don't try and put anything through my roots as much as possible, because obviously that's where you're going to get greasy, and I want to wash my hair as little as possible because it's a mission. What I will do as well, because I am going to be blow drying and I know I'm probably going to be styling, I also run through some heat defense spray, and you will see I go to town with heat defense spray. So the one I'm using here is the Charles Wellington Strength and Repair Heat Defense Spray. I've used this for a couple of years now. I love it. It just works for me, and especially where I've obviously just dyed my hair again, I want to make sure it stays in the best possible condition for as long as possible. And I do use a lot of heat products on my hair to like dry it or what have you. So this just really helps to protect it. And then in terms of drying it, first of all, what I will do is I will just really rough dry it just to get rid of any excess moisture, any water, especially if I haven't left it in the towel for long enough. I'll need to do this for a lot longer, but it's just a really rough, quick dry for maybe like 5 minutes, just to kind of get rid of any excess water and moisture that is going to make it so much harder to dry properly. Okay, and then what I do like to do is blow dry it straight. Now, I can imagine hairdressers looking at how I do this and literally want to curse me, but this is how I do it. It works for me. I can't work out any other way to do it, so that's just what it is. So I will section off my hair, and I will basically take the heat defense spray, I will spray my hair, and then I will also spray a paddle brush, so one of those flat brushes. I put my hairdryer on the lowest possible setting, put the brush underneath my hair, and then put the hairdryer directly to the hair and the brush. Now you see why I'm using all this heat defense spray, and I will just kind of run that through. And I will just do that for basically my whole head. So it's just a case of taking the brush under the hair, putting the hairdryer on top and pulling it down as gently as possible. Don't pull in terms of like you're going to be pulling hair out or anything like that. That's obviously not what you want to do. I just kind of take that through and do that for basically my entire head. And I find that this just helps it dry really straight. It's quite smooth. I find that if I angle the hairdryer slightly up, I end up with more frizz. If I angle it slightly down, then I have less like flyaways and things. It's just whether or not I remember to do it or how lazy I'm being that day, to be quite honest. And yeah, I just do that for the whole head of hair. So I just do it section by section by section, and it will take me around about 15 minutes to do this. We now have dry hair. Woo! So next steps will depend on what I'm doing with it. So sometimes I will just leave it like this if I'm having a good hair day and I'm like, no, I don't need to do anything else with it. If I really want it really sleek, really straight, I will run my GHD straighteners through it. I won't necessarily do that section by section, because where we've blow dried it straight already, we don't necessarily need to do that. But before I use that, again, I will just use some more on my heat defense spray because we need it. But what I will also do, just to make everything even more like super sleek, get rid of a lot of frizz, is to use this little oil from OGX. It's the anti-breakage and keratin oil weightless rapid reviving oil. I am so close to the end of this. This is like my 4th or 5th one of these. I honestly can't remember how many I've used. But yeah, it just helps to kind of tame a lot of flyaways and frizz and just makes everything a lot smoother, a lot sleeker. And it's just like a nice kind of added finishing touch. And then yeah, if I wanted to just leave it straight, I would either just leave it like this. If I wanted it to be super, super sleek and straight, I would run my straighteners through it, obviously putting some heat defense on first. I just have GHD straighteners. I've had them for years now. That tends to be the only thing that really works on straightening my hair because it's so thick. Other like cheaper versions and things just don't do it for me. They just don't seem to work. But as I said, today I kind of felt like curling my hair. So yes, I have the GHD curve, which is what I generally use to curl my hair. I wish I was one of those girls that could curl my hair through GHD straighteners. I've tried so many times, it just doesn't look the same as when like my hairdresser does it. I just can't do it. So I do the next best thing, and I've got the GHD curves. These are really good. I like these a lot. They curl my hair to like ringlet style to begin with, but they tend to allow it to fall quite quickly so that it then becomes more kind of big waves, which I really, really like, and which is how my hair is sitting right now. So if you look at how my hair is sitting right now, it was about nearly 4 hours ago that I curled it. So the footage that you're about to see is when I am curling it. Fast forward 4 hours and it now looks like this. So keep that in mind when you're watching the cutaway. But yes, but to do this I will section my hair off, as you should do, and then I will put some more heat defense spray on, as you should do, and I just take my curves. I always curl away from my face just because I find it opens up the face a lot more. If I have it towards it just looks weird towards the face, and I just wrap my hair around. I hold it on for about 15 seconds, and then as it falls I just kind of catch it with my hand a bit and cradle it, and then just kind of let it fall, and then I'll go on to the next curl. It is only watching this footage that I've realised I rock while I'm counting, which is really, really weird. This is not something I've ever noticed before. But you can see me rocking as I'm like counting. I think we're going like 1 rock, 2 rock, 3. It's weird. I've never noticed myself do that before, and then I've been watching this back and I was like, oh my god, I rock. This is weird. This is really, really weird. Anyway, I will just do this for section by section by section. I don't always take the same size section because I want things to be a little bit like messy and different. I'm not a kind of smooth, tidy looking person. So I just keep doing that for like that first section, and then I will take the rest of the sections of my hair and do it bit by bit by bit, much like we did with the blow drying. And this will take me probably about 15-20 minutes to do, with my rocking, obviously. We're still rocking. The rocking is still going. Okay, so yes, once I have curled everything, I will spray through with the Bumble & Bumble BB City Sweat Finish Spray. It used to be the Charles Worthington Volume and Bounce Texture. Can't remember, I'll put it on the screen. That stuff is awesome, but I recently picked this up and it was expensive, so I want to use it, and it also does a really nice job of just adding a little bit of texture and some hold, and kind of helps to keep it curled for longer, which is great. And once I've done that, I will basically just take my fingers, I will run it through the curls, I'll kind of mess it all up a bit. I'll just have a bit of a play until it kind of falls somewhat how I want it to. And then 4 hours later, we get this. So yeah, so obviously you saw in that clip that my curls are quite, you know, proper ringlet style, tight curls. So if I do want my hair to be curled like this, because this is how I like my hair curled, I will have to do it way in advance of when I'm actually going out. And obviously, as you saw, it takes a little bit of time. So it will just kind of drop like this, which is nice, and it will generally hold and stay like this for a couple of days. It will just gradually get a little bit looser, which is fine. Like, it just becomes a little bit more of like a loose wave as it keeps going, which I really like. So I quite like this colour, and I think it's nice. It's my kind of girl. But yeah, that is it. So that is basically my hair care routine. If I want to straighten my hair, I basically do the same, just when I just don't use curlers, I use straighteners, and that's it. So yeah. But that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all again very, very, very soon. Bye.